put your hands together for Miss Alpana Kamdar.
It's coming on stage. Thank you so much for that introduction, Malin. Good afternoon, everyone. I have been given the dreaded post-lunch session, so I hope everybody's energy is high for this afternoon. It is such a privilege for me to be here amongst a set of distinguished doctors across multi-specialities. People who have dedicated such a significant part of their life healing, making people feel better and live healthier and longer lives. Now, when I was first invited to speak over here by Dr. Ami, I was a little flummoxed. I wondered how a non-medical professional like me could add value to this conference. But then I realized that over the last few years, I have met so many doctors, either in the capacity of a patient, a caregiver, or even a consultant. And judging from my voice today, I'm sure you can understand I have met one as recently as yesterday evening. So, consult rooms and doctor queues are not really that something new to me. I go with people, I sit, I wait, I observe. Everything from the receptionist to the billing catches my eye. And of course it will, right? I've been a professor at St. Xavier's College and a subsequent founder at Varaha. So looking, analyzing, looking for mistakes, these are things which are my bread and butter. Now, you know what the commonality between both of us is? Yes, believe me, beyond a prescription, we have something in common. And that is trust. Parents trust us to improve their children's skills, help them grow and make them successful. Patients trust you with their well-being, their health and their life. So whether it's a boardroom, whether it's a classroom, or whether it's a consult room, one thing always stays. Real transformation for anyone never occurs with one-way communication. It always happens with a two-way process, starting with the crux, which is trust. Now, patients are exactly like students. They really don't want to be told what to do. Contrary to what we think, they seem to be knowing everything. Actually, a patient wants to be seen, wants to be heard, wants to feel included, and wants to feel involved in their health journey. And you're going to say that, but I'm the expert, and if the patient doesn't trust me, why is the patient here? Now, the fact that a patient has come into your consult room actually is a testimony of how good a doctor you are, how long you've been in practice. But trust actually is a very dicey concept. It's built over time. It's what leads a person to believe what you are speaking, follow through on your advice, show up again and again and again with an arc of changes that maps their success. Now, let's ask ourselves that last patient, Mrs. Kulkarni, who never came back, was it because she didn't quite get the diagnosis? Was it because she was not happy with the prescription you gave? Was it because she found the follow-up hard? Or was it because she could not develop a trust factor because she never felt involved? Now, let's talk about ER. And for all you people, ER means emergency room. But ER for us over here means something else. It means an empathy reach. Now you're going to say empathy is such a soft skill. Empathy is not soft at all. It's a hardcore skill. It's something that drives outcomes again and again and again. As a doctor, you are very hard pressed for time. You're pressured always. A patient is waiting in the room. There are more waiting outside. But research shows that most patients recall inaccurately everything that the doctor said in the consult room, but recall very well how the doctor made them feel in the consult room. And unless the talk is not empathetic, the patient is unlikely to act in a way which is beneficial to them as well as to you. So, people who come to you, most of them don't need just a one-time treatment. Their treatment plans are complex, involving everyday changes, involving family drama, dynamics, and so many more things. So then empathy becomes a bridge between the doctor, the caregiver, and the patient. It is something that binds the three of y'all together. And here's a powerful tool that can really help your patients move ahead. And that is the power of self-visualization. Telling your patient that you need to take a 30 minutes walk every day is not going to lead to anything. A person is going to feel pressured, going to do it for 3 days and then realize that probably this is not working out for them. But telling them that 6 months from now, this 30 minutes walk is going to buy you freedom from a stick, that's when the change is going to come. That's when the narrative changes. That's when a person is more likely to follow through. Picturing yourself helps people make an effort which is much more meaningful. It's not about avoiding diseases. It's about moving towards a life goal that matters very deeply. It creates a trust factor between two parties who are vested in a common future. And who is the person showing them that future? You, the doctor. Now, there are 3 things that I have learned in my journey as a founder. And I'm going to tell you my 3 mantras, and I hope that they are going to be useful to you. Now, the first of this is from authority to partnership. Last year, I had a string of what I'd like to call bad assistants. They came and went in quick succession. I thought that my organized chaos was great. I was telling them exactly what to do, what I expected. Until my husband pointed out to me that authoritative managing is met its death, and I seem to be the only person continuing with it. So I changed my style. I started asking my assistant, what is it that we should do? How do you think we can manage this better? Do you have another idea? And so on and so forth. And let me tell you, this is exactly what you should be doing with your patient. Instead of telling them, you need to cut out gluten, you need to cut out sugar, you need to cut out oil. How about you saying, what's the one meal that we can change in your day without creating a hassle at home and without making you feel like an outcast? Ownership is then going to come when a person feels like they are in command of the situation. This changes the narrative from command to collaboration. Ownership comes from trusting yourself, trusting the person who made that plan for you. And who's the person who's making that plan? You, the doctor. The second thing I learned is that as a teacher, I always believed that more explanations meant more learning. But I realized that people only absorb when it relates to them, when you can connect your knowledge to their world. When I taught abstract theories in economics, my students shut off. The minute I said, let's use abstract economics to talk about brands, the learning was exponential. So unless the advice that you as a doctor are giving connects with the lifestyle, the family, the habits, the patient cannot comply. So instead of telling the patient, let's do cardio 3 times a week, let's ask them what works best for you. You're then not a destructive force, you're constructive. The last mantra I want to talk about is the 60-minute golden rule. I find it very hard to be quiet. I think you guys have realized after the amount of time I've spent here. But giving 60 seconds uninterrupted time to your patients, where they are allowed to speak, they are allowed to vent out, to actually set you apart from your peers. People who are hurrying to finish off prescriptions will not know the power of this. It could be a family falling apart because their meal times have changed. It could be hair loss because of a new pill. All of these factors can come out in this. So 3 points. Act collaboratively, don't explain but co-create, and give a golden minute to every person. But you're going to tell me, all this is great. What happens when I'm at the 15th patient of the day? When I've had my 3-hour surgery schedule, I can't keep up my empathy then. Absolutely right. That's why I feel that it is very difficult for doctors to cut through the clutter. You have patients coming in with caregivers, people who have Googled their symptoms, people who are showing you WhatsApp forwards of Karela and pumpkin and God alone knows what other concoctions. And you don't have time to replenish your cup the way patients do. So here are my 4 things. 1, don't carry the weight of one consult to another. There are chirpy and lovely patients like me who completely live in the mood of a doctor. There are others who come with gratitude. Feed from energies like these so that the hard ones become easy. Second, reframe and rephrase your language. Rather than saying, I've got 12 more patients before I end my day, I have 12 more lives to heal. 12 more people who are going to be touched by a gift that I have been given. Third, standardize the repetitive. Whether it's giving a shot of insulin, whether it is giving a sort of a prescription, let the others do it. And fourth, find something that really brings happiness to you. Cycling, art, singing, partying, whatever it is. The last thing I want to tell you is that people want to be treated equally, fairly, and this includes even your subordinates. It's a legacy that you are creating with juniors, assistants, and other doctors. People are looking up to you. So trust does not only limit to the doctor and the patient. It can be taken to a level which encompasses the entire ecosystem of your clinic. I'd like to leave you with a story. My mom is obese and she's had a tendon tear. She's not taken her health very seriously, and after multiple visits to the foot doctor, he finally asked her, Mrs. Kamdar, what do you dream of? and she said, I want to travel. I want to go to Iceland. And that became his ticket. Every time she fumbled, she stumbled, she didn't follow the plan, he said, Iceland jana hai na. That became the kadi that joined both of them together. So doctors, just want to leave you with this thought that trust is a complex concept. If we are able to culminate that, add it to our prescription and the way in which we communicate with our patients, it's what's going to take us the long route. Thank you so much.